हॉन्टेड घरं आहेत, जिकडे भूत आहे असं म्हणतात लोक. तर त्या ठिकाणी जाऊन त्यांनी रिसर्च केलेला होता की खरंच असं काही हॉन्टेड प्लेसेस आहेत का, तिकडे काही कुठे भूत किंवा असं काही दिसतं का. आय थिंक दॅट वॉज व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. देन इट वॉज वन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट्स वॉज अबाउट interrelationship between people of Mumbai and trees. That was also a very interesting project, which was funded and directed by organization Pukar. Rajkumari madam had also very closely worked with Pukar, and some other time she would also tell you the details. Now, Kashmira used to work as a volunteer at WWF. We know that we are having environmental club. That time we used to call it as nature club. It was Jagruti Nature Club, as Supriya madam had named it, and we were registered under WWF, that is Worldwide Fund for Nature. And she used to be very enthusiastic in various activities of WWF. And then later she worked on a biodiversity project which was taken up by WWF. They had a project about biodiversity studies in IIT campus, that is Powai, Mumbai. And I recollect that Kashmira had enthusiastically worked on that. Later, she also published their observations regarding, I think it was butterflies on Leah indica plant, Kashmira. Am I right? Okay, so she had published those observations also. And then with this, when Kashmira completed her graduation, she started working, and uh, she had research interest. So she registered for MSc by research. Now this is something different. MSc by papers is like you take admission in one of the departments, one of the college, and then you have regular your practicals and some theory, and then it's like how you do for UG. But MSc by research is something different. You can say it is training for research, orientation for PhD. Okay, so here you are required to give few papers from MSc syllabus, and then you have to decide your own topic and carry out a research on that, and then later on you have to submit a thesis. Those who remember, last year we had a unit on research methodology. I had shown you some of the thesis from our department. So in MSc by research also, you have to carry out research work, submit a thesis, then your Viva is there. The thesis is sent to external examiners. They give their report on the thesis, and finally the degree is awarded. So MSc by research, it takes little more time than what you do for MSc by papers, but definitely it gives you opportunity to train yourself for research, and you can develop your line of interest in that. So Kashmira completed her MSc by research in study of diversity of ants. Okay, and she had studied 2-3 research stations from Mumbai because she is interested in urban entomology. We all have started with, in SY we have started with unit of entomology. Kashmira, they have a unit in SY where they are supposed to study household and pest of agriculture. Okay, so this we have just introduced them with this unit. So I thought it will be apt that you talk about your field of interest, that is
Sure.
ants. So Kashmira has studied ants in her MSc by research, and she has also continued her research for her PhD degree. She has also studied ants in her PhD work, which is still going on. Okay, so Kashmira Khot madam, I welcome you this morning, and I'm sure that in this popular lecture series means we have announced this on MDC Library. Arts commerce students, if they are free, they can also join. I don't know because they are having lectures in morning, but uh, any other person also can join. Okay, and so let's go ahead with your session. Welcome once again. Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I
yeah.
available? Am I seen to take
No,
to
no.
why am okay? I'll share the screen.
Yeah, you might be getting echo if you have joined from two different equipments.
Um, I was
No, I
trying.
don't think I can see you
No,
only on one screen. Yeah, you please
and
go ahead
my
with.
voice is proper.
Yes,
It's
yes, it
not
is proper.
okay.
It is very clear. You please go ahead.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, all right. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, ma'am. It feels like coming home, even if I'm online, when you are on the opposite side. Okay, so without wasting time, I'll quickly start. Yeah, one second. Yes, I'll quickly present my screen.
This outlay of Google Meet is slightly changed. Na? You can see
Changed, yeah.
present screen. Na? It is little different what we had last year. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'll. Is it all like? Is it visible, ma'am?
No, no, madam. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Now we can see Kashmira Khot is presenting. Yeah, yeah, we can
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Just make it
Now.
full
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Full screen. Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'll go for slideshow. Then it should
yeah.
be visible.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now it's fine.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Kashmira, and I have done my master's by research from MD College under Vaishali ma'am, and I'm pursuing my PhD, as ma'am said, in the same topic, but in different areas in the urban zone of Mumbai. So basically, but today's topic is not about Mumbai and not about my study. It is about the amazing ant and their classification. So let's begin. World of ants. Ants are really beautiful organisms. We see them everywhere. Like, you go home, you go on road, you go to any trekking part or anywhere in the world except the Antarctica. So they are highly social insects. They are in huge colony. They feed on a lot of different things, right from meat to sweet sugary substances, and to different food substances, like whatever is available. Even if a small roti, a small piece of roti is available, that is also fine. Even a bread piece is fine for them. Whatever is available, they just take it off. So they act as actually scavengers in our homes, we can say. Then there are thousands of species around the world which are identified species. So we see only black and red, as like a layman, like in a common man language, like there are only red ants and there are only black ants. But no, there are thousands of species around the world. Some ants you can see around that they are carrying these sugar particles, they are carrying these leaf particles, or the leaf thing are on their heads, which are quite heavier than their own weight. So you can also imagine that our weight is, for example, 40 kg. That is 50 times greater that weight they are carrying off. So they are highly they are highly uh, what do you say, they can carry that weight at a very high level. There are different pheromones that are present in their body. We just say that there is only one pheromone present, no, but for different activities there is alarm pheromone, there is sex pheromone, there is brood tending pheromones, then there is territory marking pheromone. Lot of pheromones are there in these small ants. So depending on the situations, they are actually released as per their requirement. Regarding the reproduction part, there are so as we know, that they lay eggs. Thousands of eggs are laid, and then they develop into larvae, then pupa, and then the worker ant or the male of the queen ant. So depending on what uh, part, if it is fertilized, then it will be accordingly. If it is not fertilized, it will be the male ant. So yeah, and what are super colonies? So super colonies are something which are having multiple entrants with the single species. So they are huge. So I'll be showing you one of the video which is very interesting at the end of the session. So which I had seen in one of my sessions when I was attending one of the ant related session. So yeah, so that I will show you all. About the nesting part, we see just they are roaming around on the ground, but it's not. The actual nesting is under the ground, which is quite deep. like probably feet deep, 20, 30 feet deep. So yeah, they are also great swimmers. Not just great swimmers, I can't say great, but when they come together, they can swim and they can, pass on with the water current. They are also termed as bioindicators because of many reasons. Two such reasons are because they are easily available and they adapt to the different changes which are happening in the environment. So that is the reason they are also termed as bioindicators. So classification, they belong to a kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, order Hymenoptera, and family Formicidae. And subfamilies will be depending on which family or which subfamily the ants belong. So is it Formicini, Momicini, Pseudomomicini, depending on that. So this is the life cycle of a proper ant, laying eggs, then going into the larva stage, pupa stage, and then the three different roles or the three different ants are hatched accordingly. So that is a queen, maybe a male, maybe a worker, depending on the fertilized or the unfertilized part. Then the general anatomy of the ant is basically of three parts, that is head, thorax, and the gastropod. So head basically bears the parts which are helpful for their identification, communication, and feeding purpose. So that is antennae. Number of antennal segments help in identification process. Mandibles help them to hold their food while traveling from one place to another. Eyes help them to identify their nestmates or the enemy around them. Even antenna help them to communicate to their nestmates when they are entering or when they are exiting their nest. Thorax part is also called as the mesosoma, that is the middle part you can see over here. It has the legs, the three pair of legs, which help in the locomotion part. And on this part, there are these spines present in some of the species, not in all species, depending on the subfamilies. The last part is the gaster part you can see over here, which has got different segments. And here you can see a small sting which they use to buy, maybe to give that kind of sensation, which when we feel that itchy thing. So that is the sting that they have actually pierced into us, and the formic acid is released. So this is the basic structure. Interesting thing about ant I would like to tell is they have these two stomach. When I came to know, probably 5 6 years back, it was very interesting. So they have these two stomachs. One is for their own food, and the other stomach is for their nestmates. If they are hungry, so they try to give it to them. So yeah, regarding identification, microscopes are used: light microscope, compound microscope. So depending on the size of the ant, microscopes are used. Also, in case where the species are not clear or we are not sure about the species, we know about the genus. Okay, this is the genus, but I'm not sure about the species. So we can go for DNA barcoding. So it is basically the sequencing of of a short fragment of the mitochondrial cytochrome, which can be compared to the library of different barcodes which are available, and coming to the conclusion that this is the specific species. So there is no confusion over there. Coming to the next part, and as we see, they are on the trees, they are on the land, everywhere. But they also love trees for many purposes, especially for nesting and the feeding part. So one of the thing where I observed, it was Manilkara zapota. Everyone knows that is a chiku, which is called in a layman language Ficus racemosa umber, that we call. Then Mangifera indica, again, the plant I've not shown, but the mango I've shown, which is lying down there, because there are these ants which are on those mangoes. So Mangifera indica, basically mango. Cisalpinia pulcherrima is the plant, is a very beautiful plant. You must have seen observing or going to some campus. These are very common plants which are present in the campus or in the garden areas as well. So on these leaflets, there are these different scales present, on which the ants are also feeding themselves. Ficus bengalensis, again, having a lot of space for the ant to form their colony. Barringtonia asiatica, that is again, we can say the samudra fur. I hope everyone must be knowing. If you all have visited MNPS Mime Nature Park, you must be knowing that there is this big Barringtonia asiatica, which is also called as samudra fur. Then there are these nesting types. We see that only the holes are present everywhere where they go inside and where they come in. No, but there are different nesting types which are present for these ants. So below and above ground, that is, you can see over here that there are multiple openings of these ants from where they enter and where they come out. And deep down inside, it is quite deep, and that is the reason it is also given as the name as below and above ground. Fort like entrance is like, you can see from the picture itself that it is like a fort only, and that is the reason it is having that fort like entrance. This is of the other spiny harvester ant. Arboreal nesting, why this is called as arboreal nesting? Because purely they use leaves to stitch. So they are also called as weaver ants, which use these kind of which use these kind of nesting, where they take the help of their larvae, and the silk is the silk that is produced by the larvae is released, and then the leaves are stitched together, and hence it is also like they are also called as the weaver ants. And these are the arboreal nesting because it is purely by the nest, because they are purely done by the leaves and not by the any other part. Lignicolous nest is in the stem of the tree. You can see lot of ants over here, you can observe. So these are the spiny these are the spiny harvester ant. No, sorry, these are not spiny harvester ants. These are the sorry, one second. Yeah. So these are chromatogaster acrobat ant, which we commonly say because they raise their gaster up and they are seen in the stem. So this is the lignicolous nest, which is seen in the stem of the trees. Lithocolous nest, we must have seen in the gardens when we visit. There are these big stones. If you just pick them up, or if you just scoop them up, there will be lot of ant colony which is present under there. So that is called as lithocolous nesting, which again they use when there are small openings for them to enter below that stone. Indoor nesting is something which is present in our house, or in the furniture, in the books, in the bookshelves, or the lavatories, everything. So that is called as indoor nesting basically. These are some of the Indian ants. That is deceptive serrated ant, which is quite sluggish ant. It is not that much. It might look like it's kind of fierce, but it's not fierce that much. It is quite slow and steady ant. Odor ants are quite fast, and they're quite active. So you can see the gaster is quite creamish when they eat any kind of, or when they drink any kind of fluid, any color. So that gaster, this gaster you just checking out here, this gaster turns that color. For example, if they are drinking some green color liquid, it turns into a green color gaster. So that's interesting about the odor ants. Arboreal, a bicolored ant, because truly it is having two colors, that is orange mesosoma, that is the middle part, and black part. So hence it is called as the arboreal bicolored ant. So this is the ant that I was talking about. Common broad acrobat ant. Acrobat ant, why it is called as acrobat? Because like the acrobats, they fight. Similarly, this ant try to raise its gaster. You can see the black thing that she has raised up. That means she is alarming that do not touch me, I might bite you. So this is the alarm thing that she is, she is giving that signal. Common Godzilla ant, everyone observes. So everyone says that what do we say in Marathi? Or some word is there.
Mungla, mungla.
Mungla, yes. So Mungla is called, right? So that's again called as a common Godzilla ant. I'm not going into the scientific names for these ants because this is just a start for you all. Then the next one is the red fire ant. So again, these are the ants which bite very badly, and they give very itchy sensation on our skin. So these are some of the common Indian ants that we see around. Of course, arboreal bicolored ant is not common in our homes. Neither is deceptive serrated. But when you go to any kind of gardens which are very good maintained, you will definitely see these all ants over there. And now coming to the interesting part of this session, that is unique ants around the world. So this is called as the turtle ant. You can see on your screen that is called as Phragmosis by turtle ants. So if you can see, this ant has the heading kind of, you must have seen in Bajirao and all that big movies, the way they hold this, and there is this another dhal thing. So they hold it over here and they try to cover it, right? About and the entry of the enemy. So similarly, this turtle ant holds it into the the hole of the tree and make sure that no one is entering that tree. So this is the turtle ant, which is very famous. Bullet ant, that is a Paraponera clavate. I will not again go into the. I've just mentioned the name. So again, it is again the most what do you say, the dangerous ant, we can say, because it stings very badly. You can see with the mandibles, the kind of mandibles that she has, and it has a very big size, around 10 mm to probably 20 mm. It also grows to 40 mm at times, depending on the scenarios or depending on the food criteria, if it's available for her. Some more ants, like exploding ants, it is also called as Coloboscis explodens. So these are some interesting ants again, where they explode themselves when they feel that they are getting attacked by someone, or anyone else is trying to attack them or trying to approach them who is not their nest mate. So they explode themselves. Of course, after exploding, their own abdomen that's ruptured, and after rupturing, they can't get into back into their own shape, and hence they die. But these are very interesting ants, where they release, after exploding, the yellow sticky thing is released into onto the face of the enemy, so that the enemy backs off, but ultimately it hurt itself. So they are called as exploding ants. Giant bulldog ant, so you can see over here, again this is another ferocious ant, which is present in Australia. It is not found in India. These all ants are not found in India, I'll specify that. These all ants are found in Australia, Brazil, Amazon forest. So these all ants are basically the forest ants, which are very much ferocious, aggressive in their behavior. So giant bulldog ant, from the name itself we can understand that it's like a giant bulldog, and it holds to the enemy very tightly, so that it is not released out. So this is called as the giant bulldog ant. Next one, we come up to the Indian jumping ant. So this is the Indian ant which is found in the forest. That is also called as Herpagnothos saltator. It is called as jumping ant because the name itself suggests they can glide, or they can jump to some inches, and that is the reason they are called as Indian jumping ant. Yeah. Also, the honey pot ants, you can see on the right side, that is Myrmecocystis honey pot ants. So this seems to be similar to those odor ants, but odor ants are completely different. They have the small gaster, but they do not grow. But whereas in honey pot ants, these actually, the gaster actually grows. You can see in the picture itself, the gaster grows in size. Basically, they are called as honey. You must be thinking, if it is called as honey pot, that means if honey, it's is honey secreted? Yes, it's a kind of sugary honey only, but it's not the processed proper honey that we have it in our homes. But yes, to some extent, the sugary syrup is also only present in this pot-like structure of their gaster. So yes, so this is basically again used for other ants, not for herself. This is again when the other ant use it, then this ant becomes again, that ant becomes very much what you can say, it cannot move itself. It has already ruptured itself because the other ants are using the sugary syrup. Next is the Allomeris decimaticulatus, that is trappers. You can see from this picture that this grasshopper or this insect is trying to sit on this twig or this leaf twig, and there are these lot of holes which are present, and there are these tiny ants which are coming out. Basically the insect is unaware. The insect feels that he's just sitting on some kind of twig or some kind of leaf part, but it is basically the part where he's sitting is a platform that is made by these ants, so that they can confuse the prey, so they can attack it. And here what they do, when the prey sits, like here you can see, when the insect has sat on that particular part, on that particular platform, they quickly come outside and hold its leg, so that it is not out, and they take it for its own food. Next one is the slave making ants. They are kind of pirates. Why I'm saying pirates, because they actually feed on the brood of the other ants. Why they do? There is a reason behind it, because they want to develop their own capacity or their own manpower. You can say, the we can say ant power. They're not man, so we can say they are increasing their ant power by having the brood of other ants. So they attack the brood of other ants, and they make sure that they make the slave out of them. And next is the army ants. So army ants, from the name itself, they suggest that they are again the raiders. They raid into the nest of other ants. They are huge, aggressive, and super powerful, right? So army ants can kill upwards around 100,000 insects, spiders, or maybe small vertebrates, whichever are available on the in the soil near the nest, in a single day. And again, the name itself calls it as the army ants. They do not have any kind of permanent nest. They keep on moving from one place to another. Usually they are seen in solo, or we can say they are seen in we can say they are individually moving, but when they are supposed to attack any kind of nest, they will make sure that they go in whole colony over there. They're most aggressive, predatory, because they raid, as I said, and into the other nest, like into the nest of the other ants. So ants and their mutual relationship, as we all know, we all depend on each other for our needs. For example, we depend on our parents, we depend on our siblings, so all of that. So that is called as mutual relationship. We all have learned because we are in biology. So in case of butterfly larvae, you can see that the ant over here is sitting on this larvae, which is of this butterfly. Now you must be thinking it's trying to kill, but no, it's not trying to kill. There are small pores on these caterpillars, which has these kind of sugary syrup, you can say, or there is kind of secretion which is available from the sap that it has sucked, and which is available for the ant. And ant basically sucks it for its own use, and in turn the ant protects it from the other predators, from the other insects which are coming on that tree. Again, same goes with the scale insects. So scale insects are, you must have seen many a times, there are these white things on some of the stems of the trees or leaf twigs somewhere. So these are nothing but the scale insects which are present, which suck the sugary sap from the plant, and which is available for the ant, from the plant, and which is available for the ant in a ready-made manner. But in turn, the ant also protects them from other birds or other insects which might try to harm them. Now, here is a quick thing, that is how danger an ant can be. So there is a small experiment of 3 minutes. I'll start this quick video. You can see there are different insects left into that jar. You might see, you can see how dangerous one ant can be, right? So I'll quickly start this video. I hope that is audible to everyone.
There is no sound, Kashmira background.
Mm,
Is there any
it's
commentary?
not. Ma'am, it's not coming. Sound is there. One second. I'll try to keep it maximum.
Okay, never mind. Still, we can watch what is going on.
Oh, okay, okay. Actually, there is no commentary, ma'am. It is
Okay,
only
okay.
the video which is going on. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Oh my God, one and सबसे सबको भारी पड़ रही है.
The way she stings from the
Yeah.
gaster, she
Hmm.
give that stings. Mandibles.
My God, such a big size as compared to the ants.
All others are trying to escape, and she is the only one who's trying to attack and get her food.
And still they are over here only few in numbers. What you talked about army ant or what super
Army
colony
ants,
what you have
yes.
seen, such a big army, so they can attack even the larger vertebrates.
Yes, yes. And they won't leave until and unless the prey is dead.
Yeah.
They'll keep on attacking. They'll keep on piercing the sting.
This is some experiment.
Yeah, this was available. Like I was checking one of the video from BBC, but I got
Hmm.
this, which was very interesting. So I thought,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll share this. These are only two. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Otherwise, bees are also harmful. They can also sting. Na?
yes, exactly. Wasp, bees, all of them. But still, like over here, I could see they were like helpless. And once the cricket is upside down, he can't even move. So that is where she's getting the chance to attack more on him.
I think because of that body weight, it will take
He,
time for
yeah,
the cricket to invert itself back
yes,
again.
same like cockroach. Cockroach, once they are upside down, they can't
Yeah,
move
yeah, yeah.
themselves. Yeah,
Yeah. Knockdown, that's what we say. When there are
yeah,
experiments about effect of insecticide on cockroach, That time, because of
Yes.
the effect of insecticide, it will be knocked down, upside down, though it will
Knockdown.
not be dead.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Now these three are attacking together. They are
Together. Yeah.
very team.
First it was one.
Yeah. Okay. That was nice. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the video.
So I'll continue.
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
So this is the same thing. I think. Yeah. Now it tried to move the upside down. Still, she will not leave. And he's trying to escape, but she is not going to leave him.
Yeah, yeah. Because probably this is experiment which is done in a tank, na? So
Tank.
these
Yes.
other
Yes.
insects, they
Yes.
don't have any opportunity to leave the tank.
To leave the tank. Yes. Correct. And they are trying to fly. Okay.
Yeah.
So shall I move ahead, ma'am?
Yeah, please, please.
Do you want to? Yeah.
No, please.
So yeah. Yes, so this was one more, ma'am, as we had discussed about antlions. So I just wanted to show them
Yeah, yeah.
about
Very
antlions also.
interesting. Mm.
Yes, so I've just got one video and I've not got all. Let's try. Again, there is no audio for the same, only the video is available. So I hope that is. You can see the soil thrown out by that antlion, which is down there.
That is larva of antlion, na?
Yes, larva. Yes, ma'am. And the adult are not so active.
Yeah.
They don't even eat that many ants. Only the larva eats. Larva is very ferocious. So yeah, regarding one second, sorry. So regarding antlion, and for the people who don't know, antlion are the larvae. So they are basically very tiny, probably smaller than ant, and they try to trap the ant whenever they are passing from this hole, which you can see in front of you in the video. When a small ant or big ant, whoever ant pass through this hole, the ant lion gets her inside and never leaves it. So until and unless it gets it inside the soil, it tries to attack it and then kill the ant. So this is the one big enemy of this ant, which is present in the soil itself. Yeah, you can check out a lot of videos which are available on Google as well. This was my video. There are many other videos which I tried putting the ant, and I did that, but please, I'm not going to show that over here because I've done wrong to that ant. Okay, so as a very interesting part, when I was studying in my MSc, I came to know that ants are also used as chutney in few parts of India. So like Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, there are these 10 rupees, red ants. They are sold out, and they also show how to make these chutney. They also make in different ways. Some of them just clean that eggs, clean those ants, and they just grind them up. But some, they take this red ants, they take those eggs and they smash it, they put it in some tomato, ginger, garlic and all that, and they actually make proper chutney out of it. And most of them say that it is quite sour in taste because of the formic acid which is present in these red ants. So red ants are basically the other ants, probably we can say the Solenopsis ant, which are present in those part of India, that is Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. So it is renowned called as the name as Demta in Jharkhand and Chapra in Chhattisgarh. So in the local markets, when you visit these states, you can get these ant chutney over there. So yeah, and if you want to really check out for ant, like how does the ant nest look like and how does she lays the egg, you can check David Attenborough's BBC thing, which is present on YouTube. There are a lot of series which are present, one of which is Empire of Ants 2020, which is very interesting. I had checked out in probably 3-4 months back. And it is super interesting. You can see how they lay eggs, how, because the camera is fit under the soil in their nest, and it's not disturbing at all, so you can easily watch the entire thing. It is for 1 hour, that is 59 minutes, so you can check that. Yeah, so that was it. To end with, I can quickly go to Sir David Attenborough, because I follow him a lot. I like the way he actually goes with his research thing. He talks to all of the organisms when he goes around. So if you collect 100 black ants and 100 fire ants and put them in a glass jar, nothing will happen. But if you take the jar, shake it violently, and leave it on the table, the ants will start killing each other. Red believes that black is the enemy, and black believes that red is the enemy. While the real enemy is the person who has actually shook the jar. The same is true in this society: men versus women, black versus white, faith versus science, young versus old, etc. etc. Before we fight with each other, we must ask ourselves who shook the jar. So, yeah, that is it. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kashmira. That was a wonderful journey through the ant world. I'm sure that few
Ma'am, there
students.
is one more, yeah,
Yeah.
one more video which is not over here. Shall I show it?
You can do one thing. If it is a short
Or
video,
else I can share the link with
you
them.
can share. I
You
will
can.
share it in their Google Classroom.
Okay, yeah. So I
Yeah.
can do that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's very interesting. I couldn't load it over here because of some problem in the PPT,
That's
but
okay.
it's very interesting. Yeah. So I'll
Okay.
share the link with you, ma'am. You can do it. Do share with the
Yeah.
students if they want.
Yeah.
If they want, of course.
I was just checking if there is any question in the chat box. There is Roshan
Yeah.
who is thanking you for the session. And she's saying, I would have studied zoology had I known it would be an interesting. So, probably from some other
Oh,
department. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining. And I'm sure even if you are not part of zoology department, maybe you are from art or commerce, still you can enjoy. Okay. Because
yes.
enjoyment has no boundary of any subject. You can enjoy nature, wildlife. Okay. In fact, I would like to say over here there are many such eminent people who have not graduated in zoology or botany, but they have done a lot in this field. So it all depends on your interest. So thank you, Kashmira. Thank you so much. I would
Thank you so much, ma'am.
question so that we will enrich our students a little. When you had studied your MSc by research, you had selected Maharashtra Nature Park. All are
Yes.
know Maharashtra Nature Park because it is close to college at Sion, and it
Yes.
is a special park because you know that it's from the wasteland. It's created
Correct.
sort of a forest created on the wasteland. Okay,
Wasteland. Correct.
when Kashmira had studied that, she had collected certain ants for identification. So, can you briefly tell our students how you collect the ants? Of course, students, please remember that you are not allowed to collect any wild organism, not
Yeah.
even from urban gardens. When she had collected, there is a procedure which you have to follow. You have to apply to State Biodiversity Board, okay, and then from them you have to take the permission to
Permission.
collect. तो प्लीज डोंट थिंक दैट अरे एंड्स तो इतने रहती है हम कुछ भी कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं कितना भी नंबर कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं नो शी वाज अलाउड टू कलेक्ट ओनली 5 एंड्स type or 2 or 3 ants of each type.
Yeah.
So can you tell us different methods by which the ants are collected by the scientists for studying?
Yes. If even if you are not from the field, if you want to study, as ma'am mentioned, you of course have to get your permission from the authorities. And when you're doing this research, you have to actually go with few things. Like, for example, if you want to first, you have to make clear you just want the diversity part or you want the density part. If you want to go with the diversity part, all out search with the help of hand picking, just taking with the hand, collecting with the hand, and putting it in the vial or whatever thing is available with you, that can help. But if you want for density, you can go for light trap methods, scented methods, food trap methods, pitfall trap methods, as well as leaf litter method, where when you're collecting the samples from the area, you get the number of ants in those in that area. So you can count them, you can identify them, you can preserve them, and for later use you can keep it for future use also if you are not sure with few species. So yeah, that can be
या
done.
या थैंक यू सो मच स्टूडेंट्स फॉर योर नॉलेज. लीफ लिटर का मतलब है जो बहुत सारे लीव्स फॉरेस्ट में होते हैं,
Forest.
they fall down from the tree and they in fact form a layer on the ground, they form a layer on the soil, and this slowly these leaves they also start decomposing after few days, and this leaf litter it forms an excellent small ecosystem for different types of
For
organisms to
ants.
develop,
Yes,
and
yes.
especially ants. Okay, because leaf litter it gives them protection, it gives them shelter so that their movement is not noticed. So leaf litter is the main area where the scientists over the entire world they focus when they want to study ant. The nest of ant which Kashmira madam has shown us different types of nest. This is called as myrmecarium. ओके, जसं
Yeah.
आपल्याकडे मधमाशांचं पोळं असतं तसं ऍन्ड्सचं जे घरटं असतं त्याला मर्मिकारियम म्हणतात. अँड देर आर हॉबिस्ट ओव्हर द वर्ल्ड हू मेंटेन मर्मिकारियम ॲट देअर होम. म्हणजे जसं वेगवेगळ्या लोक कुत्रा पाळतात, मांजर पाळतात, तसं उंदरं
Yes.
पाळणारे सुद्धा लोक आहेत. ओके, बट यू हॅव टू मेंटेन दॅट एंटायर नेस्ट बिकॉज इफ क्वीन इज नॉट देअर देन द कॉलनी विल नॉट सर्वाइव्ह. So it must be a challenge to maintain the vermicarium. I don't know. I think in India we don't have. We will have to take permission if you have to maintain vermicarium at home.
Maintain that.
हा,
Yeah.
पण आपल्या घरी ते सहज मुंग्यांनी समजा स्वतःहूनच जर एखादं कॉलनी त्यांची तुमच्या घरात असली तर ती तुम्ही खूप इझिली बघू शकता. आय
Oh,
थिंक काश्मीरा इफ यू रिमेंबर पीपल टेक एक्सरेज किंवा त्या
yes.
रिकाम्या घरट्यामध्ये पीओपी टाकून त्याचं पूर्ण एक
POP
मॉडेल
टाकतात.
बनवून पण ते स्टडी करतात बिकॉज इट इज व्हेरी
हो.
इंटरेस्टिंग आर्किटेक्चर. आर स्टुडंट्स आर स्टडीड इन FYBSc हाऊ हार्वेस्टर अँड्स दे प्रिपेअर देअर नेस्ट, की ज्याच्यात भर पावसामध्ये सुद्धा पाण्याचा एकही थेंब जाऊ शकत नाही आणि
जाऊ शकत नाही. हो.
सुरक्षित
हो.
राहतात. यू हॅड ऑब्झर्व दॅट इन महाराष्ट्र नेचर पार्क. ओके,
Yes, yes,
आणि पुणे
yes.
इफ यू रिमेंबर with Sanika madam, one of the other
Sanika
teachers,
madam, yeah.
we had seen a large number, 25 or 26 harvester ants all forming one single colony but different nest. So it is very interesting feature to observe
Hmm.
ants and how they communicate with each other. डायव्हर्सिटी हा फक्त एक विषय आहे जो काश्मीरा मॅडम डील करतायत, पण ॲन्ड्सची बिहेवियर, त्यांचे
True.
हॉर्मोन्स अँड हाऊ दे रिस्पॉन्ड टू द केमिकल्स ऑर पेस्ट कंट्रोल केमिकल्स विच आर यूज ऑल ओव्हर. कारण बरेच लोक पेस्ट कंट्रोल किंवा केमिकल इन्सेक्टिसाइड स्प्रे करून ॲन्ड्स मारून टाकतात.
घालून
You will
टाकतात. हो.
also find them in various crop fields. ऍग्रिकल्चरल एरियाजमध्ये पण तुम्हाला भरपूर सारे ॲन्ड्स मिळतात. मॅडमनी जी चटणी तुम्हाला दाखवली तर ते आंब्याच्या झाडावरच्या ॲन्ड्स आहेत. तुमच्यापैकी जे कोकणातले लोक आहेत त्यांनी या आंब्याच्या झाडावर ही मोठमोठी घरटी या मुंग्यांची बघितली असतील. चिकूच्या झाडावर तुम्ही बघितलेली असली तरी मेन त्यांचा होस्ट प्लांट आहे ते
हो.
मँगो ट्री आहे. आणि इट सेज दॅट मँगो ट्रीज दे गेट प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम अटॅक ऑफ अदर इन्सेक्ट्स when these red ants
Yes.
are present over there. So maybe if you can think, तुम्ही अशी चटणी बनवून साऊथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज किंवा मलेशिया सारख्या देशांमध्ये कधीतरी एक्सपोर्ट करायचा पण विचार करू शकता इन फ्युचर. सो इट्स व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वर्ल्ड. एनीबडी हॅज एनी क्वेश्चन फॉर कश्मीरा मॅडम? No. I think it was a totally new field for them. Let
New,
me tell
yeah.
you that ants are not included in any of the syllabus other than the harvester ant nest, which is given as example of animal architecture.
Oh,
Yeah, but
thank you so much, everyone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Students, you can see chrematogaster ant which also have a different type of nest. Okay, so thank you Kashmira for joining us and enriching our students. It was a lovely morning. आमच्याकडून लेक्चर
Thank you so much, ma'am.
तुमच्याकडून ants आणणं त्यांनी जाणणं
अरे
त्यांनी
बापरे.
एन्जॉय केलं असेल.
Actually, I hope they have got some new information today,
Yeah,
because when I came to know about all these bullet and it was like total and माझ्यासाठी खूप amazing होतं ते सगळं
yeah.
बघणं. So I would like to share this today.
Yes,
म्हणून.
yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and that was very interesting. I thank all the students who have joined and all our teacher colleagues. Dr. Rishikesh Dalvi sir is here, Harshada madam, Rajkumari madam, and Suprita
Yeah.
madam, uh, who is over here with us. Pansa madam could not join because of some difficulty, but she is always a great support for all our departmental activities. So thank you,
Yes.
Kashmira. Thank you for
Thank you
making
so
us
much, ma'am,
this
for
so
actually
interesting.
inviting me. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye bye. Thank you
Bye.
everyone. Take care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone is
Uh,
requested to fill the feedback form. Bye bye.
yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, even I am supposed to fill no, na?
No, 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 no. You can give us feedback that whether students were
No,
enjoying
no,
or
I
you
know.
had
It
any
is for,
problem.
yeah, it is for this session if they have
Yeah,
enjoyed or
yeah,
no, yeah.
yeah. But we will
Okay,
tell
okay,
you
no
what is the
problem.
feedback of the audience.
Yes,
We'll
please.
surely
Yes,
tell you.
please.
Okay. So,
Yes,
Kashmira, you
yes.
can leave the meeting. Thank you for being
Thank
with
you
us.
so much. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Bye
Bye.
bye. Tada.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Sir, yeah. Sir, you can announce the timing of your lecture once again to remind the students.
Yes. My SY lecture will be at 11:30 and TY lecture will be at 12:19.
12:19. Okay. Students, TY students, if you are over here, my lecture will be there at 11:30. Okay. So thank you all for joining. And I want you to tell that in which field you would like to know more. आपण तसे आपले प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गनाइज करू शकतो. Principal madam has instructed us to give a plan of activities what we are going to do over the entire year. So we would like to have input from your side also. तुम्हाला एखाद्या विषयावर प्रोग्राम हवा असेल किंवा काही ऍक्टिव्हिटी करायची असेल तर प्लीज लेट अस नो वी विल इन्क्लूड इट इन आवर ऍक्टिव्हिटी प्लॅन ऑल SY स्टुडंट्स प्लीज लेट अस नो what you plan to do. Okay, so thank you all and have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe. Bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye. Take care.
प्रदीप पाताडे सरांनी आता जॉईन केलं का?
नाही मला सकाळपासून आहे.
Because we had put it on Facebook. Since it was for undergraduate students, we did not share the link on Facebook. But Patade sir, I think he was interested. So if Patade sir had joined this session, thank you so much Patade sir for being with students and तर कधीतरी मुलांना पाताडे सरांशी गप्पा मारता आल्या आणि त्यांचं सगळं जे मोठं काम आहे मरीन झुऑलॉजी मध्ये तर आर स्टुडंट्स विल बी रिअली लकी टू बी विथ पाताडे सर.
नक्की.
आपल्या मुलांना त्यांनी सगळं म्हणजे ते जे दाखवतात मरीन लाईफची जी टूर घडवतात दॅट इज जस्ट मेमरेबल and what fantastic work Pradeep Patade sir is doing. So with his permission, let us organize one day, one tour with Pradeep Patade sir. Pradeep Patade sir, thank you so much for joining, and zoology department is really lucky to have you with us, sir. Okay, so those who have you all filled the feedback form? I don't know. मुलांनी फीडबॅक फॉर्म भरला की नाही मला माहिती नाही कारण ती लिंक इकडे पेस्ट केली होती. Otherwise we'll paste it in their group. Yeah. Suprita or Rajkumari,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
can we stop recording?
Yeah.
आणि मुलांनी जर हे भरला नसेल